Hello. Oh, my avatar's crying. There we go. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for stopping by today. If you are here or if you're from the future, I don't know where you're watching this. You're probably watching this in 2026, even. But even then, welcome. To the people are actually here. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today, we're going to be starting something that is kind of stepping back away from the manga, although we will continue it. Do not worry. I finished the last page, which is going to be episode, I would say 60, 61, around there. You can go check it out down in the description below, Webtoons. It is Yuki's on this Void, and plus if you want to check out the trailer or like the animation that I made for it, you can definitely go check that out as well, because I put so much time and effort into that, so I'd really appreciate it if you go check it out. But other than that though, today we're going to be starting an illustration, because I don't think I've done an illustration for quite a minute now, quite a hot minute now. So today I want to basically start a whole new illustration. And, while you're watching, you can see how I basically go through the process of creating an illustration. Now, this illustration isn't going to be like a commission or anything. This is just what I like to do in general. But I am thinking about giving illustration commissions. Although today this isn't just the case. Okay, so today we're just going to do a illustration that I thought of and like inspired by music, by like this like song. Here, I can try and link it down below. Let me see here. But yeah, I was inspired by this song. It was like a piano type of music. I don't necessarily know how to pronounce the song name, because I don't really want to butcher it at all. But it's basically this by, I think it's from a game. I'm not gonna lie, I just don't know what game. I heard this song on Instagram Reels, and then I instantly thought, wow, this is like beautiful. This is so beautiful. This is such a beautiful melody, and I just really thought that it made me thought of some sceneries from like Ghibli sceneries. I know, then again, it's like Ghibli Studio sceneries. I love Ghibli Studio. Their backgrounds are so well done, so beautifully done. So I was really heavily inspired by it. It made me think about more of a greenish scenery, hence there's like a green background, and today we're just going to be rendering this. And want to let you guys know that this behind here, the sketch, is from my actual sketchbook. So I like to take pictures of my sketchbook. If you guys are new here, I like to take pictures of my sketchbook and then basically render over them and make them into a beautiful digital art piece. So I do both traditional and digital. And if you want to check out my other digital art pieces, you can definitely go check that out on my socials, on Instagram. I used to love posting my digital art on there. I think I need to post my recent works on there as well, but sometimes I get a little bit upset that not many people really pay attention to the digital art pieces that I post on there. So I like to post somewhere else, or post here, for instance. But yeah, let's get started. So this is like brand new. I have not touched this yet, except for the background, of course. I colored like the background like this tealish green. So what do we work on first? I usually always love to work on the face first, always, because it just excites me, I guess. It just makes me feel like I can work on the expressions and the detail of the eyes and whatnot. So I think I'm gonna work on that first. I always usually work on that first. Okay. So I'm thinking like, because it's like a green base color, I'm gonna turn the opacity down a little bit. The background is already kind of green-ish blue. So hopefully this pops. So the app, or like the art app that I use, is Sketchbook. I've been using Sketchbook for over, I'd say, 3 to 4 years now. I really enjoy using Sketchbook. Well, for one, it's because I am already used to it, but for two, I think it's simple. It's considered simple to understand compared to other apps as well. And even though like it's very simplistic, I'd say, to the point you can't really do some advanced things like other apps would do, but I got used to it, hence that's why I've been using it for 4 years. It is 100% free. You don't have to pay any money unless you're going to pay for Pro, of course, but even then, I think I'm actually thinking about getting Pro. I'm not sure. But even then, I still think like it's a really good app to do digital art. I would say lately I've been wanting to test out more 3D art piece things, because since I've recently started learning about it, and I'm really inspired by these kind of like back rooms, pool rooms type of liminal spaces videos where, you know, a lot of things are like 3D made, and basically it looks so realistic and it looks so beautiful. So we're just gonna kind of giving her eyelashes. The favorite part about drawing an illustration is I can go crazy wild with details and not to worry about going like too overboard. And I really enjoy that quite a lot. Adding some lighting. But then again, sometimes I feel like balancing out the scenery and also the character itself is like also really important. So I guess probably not going a little bit too crazy with the detail in one specific spot is also kind of crucial. Make her have like brown eyes. I think that's a really nice color. I want to make her look this way, actually. I was thinking about it. I was like contemplating about it there. That does look pretty. I like that. Okay. I'm gonna make her iris like have like different shapes, and so it's kind of like uneven a little bit. And then we can go in with some color, some contrast. Gonna use like a softer brush here. It's kind of like a watercolor brush. I don't know, the aesthetic to me is just like so beautiful. Look at that. Woo! That's pretty. Okay. And then we can add over here. So I'm not as afraid as before. Before I would always want to make sure that I got every layer right, and you know, I'd be really I guess not really fluid with it. Like, how'd I say it? Like, sometimes I'd be so afraid of drawing on the same layer and then not being able to erase things, but who said you have to erase things? You can just kind of paint over them or draw over them. There we go. That looks just a tad bit odd, I'm not gonna lie, so I know how to fix this. Just gonna do this. Let's see how that looks. I mean, that kind of looks a bit better. I'm zooming very much like within the picture that it looks kind of pixelated. Okay, how about like this color? Yeah, it looks like a little bit better. Okay, and for her skin, I'd say, because I'm gonna start off with like a darker tone, and then add the lighting later. So there's gonna be like, you know, a bigger contrast, I'd say. So I'm gonna add like a darker tone. Like, not like bigger contrast, but more of just like the lighting wise. Like a palish color. I don't know, I want to balance it out. That's all I know. So I'm like going really light. I'm not like overdoing it. So I can still see the sketch underneath. Then kind of blending it all together. It's kind of like makeup in a way. And then afterwards, we can kind of go darker. Just like testing the waters here. That is totally fine. But yeah, today we're just doing illustrations. I think I like her hair. Being like this wavy. Like when I was like sketching this in my head, I was like, I want this to look ethereal, earthreal, ethereal. I think that's how you pronounce it. I still don't know how to pronounce that correctly. And then to finish it off, we're going to give it kind of like the same shade of color here. There we go. Okay, now we're going to add the light. So we're going to go on top of most of the things here and then add this. And then here's where like the magic happens. Well, usually. Okay. Yeah, it's like a big difference. There we go. Kind of trying to balance out where the light would usually hit. So I'm kind of checking a little bit here. And then time to blend out later in a second. I don't know, I never really tried this method before, so it looks like a little bit wonky. I don't know if I like that. That doesn't look the best. I'm not gonna lie. Because I learned the method where you're supposed to make the skin darker. Or like make things like have a darker how do you say it, base color, and then add the light depending how originally I was dark as it was, depending on that. So I'm not sure if I mastered that yet. So I'm going to work on other things while I figure that out. I really like drawing hair because it really is relaxing to see the flow of hair and just like kind of tracing it in a way. Well, I mean, like, depending on what brush, but still. I think it looks really nice. I don't know. I think the light. Okay, we'll work with something later on. Thank you. Yeah, I have like a bottle of water right beside here. I'm kind of hitting art block during this illustration. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, once I was trying the lighting with the skin, I'm like, okay, this isn't looking so very good. Like, I had such a beautiful idea in my mind, and I was like vibing to the song, not this song specifically, but to the song that inspired me to draw this. And I was having such a beautiful like image in my head, but whenever it comes to like streaming, I don't know why, but sometimes, especially while trying to think of an idea or like drawing, especially starting out like brand new, um I for some reason cannot draw at all, and I don't know why. Thank you. Your PNG is so adorable. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, you know, it's just like, I don't know, streaming to me sometimes is that's why I don't really necessarily stream like every single day, because sometimes I just want to have fun drawing. Um Especially whenever I'm streaming, I don't know if like other people when they draw art they like have this issue, but whenever I'm streaming I'm always like kind of fixated on if people are like watching or not. But then again, sometimes I feel like I have to remind myself that even if no one is watching, or even if there's not many people watching, it doesn't mean that what I'm doing is a waste of time or that it's worthless. And you know, I don't know, it just gives me kind of anxiety going on. So that's kind of where my art blog started. I'm just gonna be very honest with you guys. But yeah, if you guys are like starting a platform or also posting YouTube videos or like streaming your art, you can tell me like what's your experiences with that as well. Cause like, I don't know, sometimes some days it's just like that. Some days it's just like you had a great idea, and then after a bit while streaming, it's just like suddenly feels kind of a bit more pressure. But some days I have like a lot of fun streaming, and you know, even though there's like not many people, I still really have fun streaming. So I don't know, it's like a really tricky thing for me. For this art piece, I was like thinking of like a fantasy type of vibe, type of aesthetic, because I never really used the color green before in my drawings, not really. I usually always love to use blue or purple or something that is contrast to that or something like that. And so I never really used green before, and green to me makes me think of nature or like naturistic plants and stuff, and so I want to make it like a fantasy type drawing. There's actually something behind her hair, which is going to be like flowers. These flowers aren't just like regular flowers. They look kind of like steampunk a little bit, especially with this one. I know it's like a rough sketch, but I was planning on to give it a lot of detail in the digital illustration. So yeah, I have like a lot of ideas, even though it's like roughly sketch. I had quite a lot of ideas. Like I had an idea with... Anyway, y'all will see. You guys can see later on. I don't know if Poppy Playtime is going to be coming out with a new chapter, because if they are, I'm going to be really happy about that, because I didn't necessarily liked how it ended in the last chapter. It ended pretty sad. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it ended pretty sad. It ended up like having Poppy anyway treat us in a way. I'm not gonna spoil it. Hello. I'm gonna make the clothes like darker green, like this green. Looks like the same color as the hair though. Here we go. Yeah, I really like to use this brush because it's kind of like a triangle, and it's like really has like a lot of pigmentation with gentle strokes. Like you don't have to really press super hard on the pen. But yeah, this is kind of like a rough rendering for now. It's not like too detailed. Ooh, that's not good. That looks like... Okay. What if we... Well, it kind of does blend in. I think we can fix that by rendering, but we'll see. Okay. I'm cutting and kind of adding like details on places. Hello. Not gonna lie, like, it's usually my nap time right now. This is a illustration. I'm kind of starting out a little bit rough, but hopefully we trust the process and it comes out like how I wanted it to. Because it's like a little bit rough situation right now. Okay, yeah, we can trust the process. We'll trust the process. Okay. Nap time? Yeah, usually. Like, I don't have like an actual set of like setting a timer for nap time, but more of just like there's like a certain hour in a day where I just like to snooze and just go into airplane mode. And like I don't think like right now I'm the most awake. I don't know, and also I don't like to drink energy drinks. I heard so much negative things about it. Like how it can be really um bad for your health. And I'm just like then and I don't like coffee either. So I'm kind of stuck. I mean, vitamins are nice. That's totally fine. Yeah, school started. I've been like I don't know. I've been doing pretty well in school, I guess. But yeah, if you guys haven't checked out the animation that I made for Yuki's Endless Void, you should definitely go check that out because I put a lot of effort into that animation video, and it's the animation that I've been talking about in the streams for quite a while. So if you guys want to go check that out, I'd really appreciate it, and you can tell me what you think down in the comments down below. So thank you then again. Yeah, I mean, low key, I did try to drink energy drinks one time. I really did. And then I was like, "Ooh, energy drinks." It was the monster drink. Oh, energy drinks. This is so popular. Every kid was, just like everyone that I almost knew or like everyone that I saw on the internet were like, "Oh my gosh, these are so hype. Oh my goodness, monster." Yeah, so emo, I don't know, whatever. It was like a freaking aesthetic or something. And I took a sip and I'm like, "Hmm. This is this tastes so bad. This tastes so bad." That's generally what my first reaction was. I was also trying to compliment it before saying it was bad. I was like, okay, I guess I kind of get the hype, but in my mind, I'm like, nah. What am I drinking? What is this? It tastes bitter with like an artificial sweetness, like a sweetener. Um, and then it leaves like a bitter taste in your mouth, and it's just I just don't get why people like to drink that at all. I don't get why people like to drink that. Hey, live again. Yep, we are. Today we're drawing an illustration. But next week we'll still continue the manga series. Hello. For me, it's kind of just the quickest way to get caffeine because I work at night a lot. Yeah, to be honest, like I think I heard people say that they drink caffeine and stuff like that for the sake of working, not for the taste. Or like after a long while they are addicted because of also working and also then again the taste because they got used to it. But and the energy, of course. So I don't know. It's just like I don't want to drink that. It doesn't taste good. And but then again, I really want to get to know another way to get energy during the day because feeling like this just feels like your brain is fuzzy, and when you're like speaking, sometimes you don't know what you're talking about. It's just kind of a bit scary. Okay, I don't know about that. Yeah, it's bitter. It's bitter. It's bitter. I was that one person from last stream. Yeah, I think I remember. Yeah. I just wanted to let you guys know. If you guys like come around quite often, and I would recognize you, especially if you didn't change your profile picture or anything like that. I would remember. But some people, they would come in with a whole new different profile picture or a whole new different account, and they come by just like a little, just not much, not many times. Then I wouldn't really recognize them. Which then again, apologies, but I just like I don't know. So sometimes there's just things that I really can't remember, especially if things change. Yeah, it's, I don't know, like energy drinks, it has like a, how do I say it? It tastes like a sour, bitter taste, like an acidic, bitter taste. It's just really odd. It's quite odd, not gonna lie. My favorite drink that I used to get a lot of energy from that I stopped drinking was black tea. But the reason why it gave so much energy, matter of fact, is because it had so much sugar. It had at least half a jar of sugar, I think. I can't really calculate correctly. I forgot how much like sugar it has in it, but it had so much sugar that it was really unhealthy to consume in a whole day just drinking one uh, carton. Like the one carton's like 160 cc or 260 cc, but anyway, yeah, they do kind of taste radioactive. Yeah. Yeah. Seriously, like what is this? Why are we drinking this acidic, disturbing bitterness and then calling it good? It's weird. It's weird. And then there was a time where eating funfetti raw out of the literal jar without anything on it was also popular at some point. And some people say that it tasted artificial. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't know. Would that taste good? Is that good? Is that considered yummy? Is that a snack? I never tasted it before because we don't have funfetti in where I'm at, but yeah. Anyway, bulldog ramen is quite quite unhealthy as well. Um I really like bulldog ramen, the carbonara bulldog ramen. It's like a Korean ramen. It's the package is like pink. And I think it was popular for a little while, or maybe still is. But it's pretty yummy. But it's really bad for you. It's like really salty, very salty. Eat anything if it tastes okay. I mean, I think that also has something to do with energy as well. Eating certain foods, like when you eat foods that taste like food but doesn't actually contain the like proteins you need in order to gain the vitamins to get the energy, it makes you feel like kind of crap. I'm not gonna lie, it makes you feel like kind of crap on the long run. The side effects are the future mess problems. I mean, time flies pretty fast. Time flies pretty fast. But then again, like trying to eat healthy nowadays are so, I guess I can't really make an excuse about it, but like then again, it's so expensive to eat healthy. Sometimes you eat at the healthier places and it's just cost like your whole salary or something like that, and it's just like crazy. Jawline. I don't know, her forehead looks a little bit huge, which is nothing wrong with that, but I just want to match it with the face. Kind of want to fix the proportions a little bit. Really can't wait for the new season of Alice in Borderland. I think they're having a new season this year, around next year or this year. I think this year in November ish. November, I'm not sure though. But they're having a new season coming out. The new season of Wednesday, I don't know. I never really truly liked Wednesday. Wednesday is, that show is like a little bit too much for me. I don't know. The storyline is just very typical, I guess. Like there are some good sceneries, I guess, but like then again, to me, it's just like I don't know. I don't know. I don't find some of it super funny. Oh, Alice in Borderland. It's basically about these people in Tokyo, and suddenly all the population just disappeared. But there are still some people, but they're just not in that same area. There's like some selected people that are still there, and basically have to play games, survival games, different mini games to survive. And if you lose in a game, then you're eliminated, aka you're dead. So, yeah. Queer baiting. Give me a real Yuri. I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know. It really feels all like propaganda. Like they want to, how do I say it, attract a certain type of viewer, but to me, it just feels so fake, I guess. Me personally, I don't like to watch any type of content with is like something like romantic or anything like that. Very rarely. So to me, it's just kind of bad. It's kind of bad, low key, and it was kind of cringy too. I'm not gonna lie. Some lines in there are kind of cringy. Like who says these types of roasts? Like who does that? Who? Okay, like if a kid, right, a 12-year-old kid actually talked like that in school, I think that they would probably wouldn't be taken seriously. If they roasted like that generally, and I just don't see the point. I mean, it's smart. The roasting is smart, but like nobody really talks like that. Like, Wednesday being really edgy and stuff. But yeah, it's just too much. It's just too much. I think there was like even a worse one. The worst one was like Katie or Kitty. Her name is Kitty, and she went to Korea to meet her boyfriend and to find out, her boyfriend is with another girl. And the way she talked was, oh my goodness. Wow. It was bad. Oh, did you think that they were like into each other or something? Because I think it's like, I don't know, they seem to just be best friends at some point. I didn't really want to read into how they were talking to each other, I'm not gonna lie. Because, I don't know, to me, Enid is just like, Enid needs to, I don't know, Enid's personality, the way she talked, it was kind of, no, I don't like it. That's just me personally, though. I don't like it. Enid seems to be really self centered. I'm going to be very honest about that. Enid seems really self centered. And season two, when like she had something going on with a new school season, and then ditching her sort of ex relationship like that was like kind of narcissistic. I'm not gonna lie. It's who Enid, that random guy they threw in. Yeah. Then again, the storyline is just really. messed up. Like, even if they did, get together like that, like Enid and Wednesday, I still wouldn't watch it because I just really don't like the context and dialogue in general. Like, the only reason I watched it was out of like curiosity and seeing how things would kind of play out and like giving it some chances. But after watching like some parts of season 2, I'm like, no, this is really not really worth my time. And they threw in like another girl character on season 2, which I guess is fine. They aren't, the most worst, but it's kind of like giving a cringy stalker vibe and then into Friends, which is like, it's odd, okay? It's odd. It's very odd. There are just things in that show that I think shouldn't be normalized at all. Like, I don't think befriending a stalker is the best idea, and also I don't think, I perhaps she changed, but then again, it's still weird at the first. You know what I'm trying to say? And then being narcissistic in between as well with Enid. I don't know. Enid is just such a random character for me. Like, she's always so oblivious, I guess. I don't think it's that serious. Yeah, I think I'm just reading too much into people. I don't know. Sometimes these things can really influence big things, but I don't know. I mean, Hollywood does. Yeah, no. I don't think we should take the show seriously either, since it's not taking itself seriously. I think that show would probably do really well for I'd say probably elementary schoolers, perhaps some high schoolers. Oh yeah, didn't they have like that villain in the first season of that dude? I forgot what they're called. I truly just cannot care less. But yeah. Yeah, the show has pretty young audience. Yeah. There was this one time where I saw a TikTok of like, I think it was AI generated. I'm not sure. Like, it felt like that person had a face of Wednesday, and they would do these like dances or like skits basically, like without talking, just with like the music, and it's like one of those like cringy videos. And like they had the face of no, not the face of TikTok, the face of Wednesday and the face of Enid. And one time they were live streaming, and I was like, okay, what's this about? Do they actually have the face of like Wednesday? I'm kind of curious. And like the weird thing is, there was this lady with a Wednesday face and like her facial features, and like it felt like really disturbing because I felt like I was in a place that I shouldn't be, and like where things were heading, I felt like it was kind of inappropriate. So I'm like, okay, this is going too much, going too far. I don't know, it's really scary to think that, if you post a face online or something like that, it can be taken by AI or something. And the thing is, it really looked really real. Like, was looking for like glitches on the facial features, if like it was like a filter or something like that. But I couldn't notice a thing. Like, it felt very normal, natural, I'd say. Which was quite creepy. But yeah, right now I'm just doing base colors of the skirt and then rendering later on. I remember looking back at my illustrations, and I used to find that whenever I draw illustrations, I always would never stop, and like I just put on some music and start rendering like crazy. And then looking back on my illustrations, I really like my thought process of things, and I just kind of really miss that a lot because there were a time where I did start a project to kind of make money out of it. I'm not gonna specifically say what project because it's a little bit personal. It has like nothing to do with like anything really explicit or anything like that. But like it was it was a project that I don't really like to name it because it really brings back kind of bad memories, I'd say. Because almost every day I had to draw for the sake of content. And after a while, I stopped kind of drawing illustrations because illustrations were considered something, not like commercial wise. It's not really something that's for commercial art, and hence I kind of stopped doing that. And I kind of forgot how to kind of gain that flow again, basically. And to me, when I look back at my illustrations and how I used to draw, I was like, I always felt so happy after finishing an illustration and so happy during like drawing the illustration itself. So, yeah, I just feel like it could have been better. But right now, I'm like gaining back slowly just that joy with basically drawing illustrations again. So today I just decided to start something and then work on it. And then next week we can basically I'm going to keep continuing the manga series, of course, but also going to be work on illustrations every now and then. But yeah, then again, if you haven't checked out the animation, definitely go do that. I think that animation was basically what I want Yuki's Endless Void to look like in people's minds. It's kind of like how I imagined what Yuki's Endless Void would be like if they were, kind of alive and also moving. I just really want to convey the message or like convey the scenery sort of like that. And it was like a really fun process. I really enjoyed animating it and also basically like rendering the background with like 3D art pieces and 3D animation basically. So I thought that was like a really fun process. And that was quite a while since I got to do something quite creative for the longest time in a day without feeling unmotivated. That arm still looks a little bit odd. But yeah, I'm not going to finish this illustration altogether in the stream today. I'm just going to do some base colors and probably some light shading. But other than that though, if you want to hit the subscribe button and not miss the next live stream, I'd really appreciate that. And yeah, thank you so much for stopping by today. Past 2 days. I don't know. Is like a frequency of like the globe or something? Because I don't know. Some days it feels like that. Like it's like fuzzy, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, I know like the colors look like a little bit flat right now, but yeah, we're gonna be rendering it probably next time, or probably next time you'll see it rendered better. But yeah, today I think I'm just gonna start off with like some base colors today. And if you guys want to catch the next stream, you can definitely do that by subscribing, and also don't forget to check the description down below for my content, the Yuki's Endless Void, because I've been working on that for quite a while now, ever since 2021. So if you see like a change in the art style, it's because I wasn't the best at anatomy before. So, but I did improve. I did improve after like 50, like first basically season, after the first season. So if you want to check that out, definitely do. And follow on Webtoons and check out the animation and get to understand, my ideas for Yuki's Endless Void, because I really like weird core and backrooms and liminal spaces and things like that. So thank you so much then again for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.